Hello. How are ya? I'm digging. This is the vibe. And this is I don't know what I can do hair. This was, as soon as I got home, I just wanted to change into something comfortable. And I thought pink because of how I was feeling. I was feeling like pink. Okay. Oh, sorry. Itchy nose. I've been trying to make a video the past couple of days. And the reason is because different things have been coming to me. And what has been coming to me is the vibration of love. And I look outside my window and I think to myself, I don't notice a whole lot of love. I know that love is there. I know that love exists. Now, I am going to say that there is still enough love that God willing, or the Lord willing, we get hurt, there's somebody that will care and stop as a humanitarian and want to assist, whether it's a gain for them or not, and help. I try not to lose hope, and I think to myself, well, okay, how do I not lose hope? I ask myself, well, I wonder if anybody has seen these videos and does go to that place within side of themselves and asks themselves, are they doing all that they can do in this life, in this lifetime? And I don't feel positive about the outcome. I don't, because I think that it's like a band-aid. It just rips off, and where most of society is, they don't want to have to deal with any more aches and pains and grief and disease and war and death. I believe humans are at a place where they are really truly earnestly seeking for these things, and that is the underlining desire, and that's the key word, desire, to be happy in their skin. And what was it going to take to be happy in their skin? Because of people's perception when they look at something that does hurt or hurt them. He wants to look at it. He wants to dissect it and tear it apart. I would just rather not experience it at all, as if it just didn't happen. That's it. It just, I'd rather just move forward and not have a conundrum and be all tickety-doo about it. And what ends up happening for the most part, yeah, it has become like that for me. I want to see everybody happy. I just don't want to see myself happy. I want to see everybody happy, everybody in my community happy, everybody extended from the community, and so on and so forth. I mean, when you get right down to it, I'm one of those happy-go-lucky people that I would prefer the whole world being happy, only because I believe in humanity. I do believe that we can find that balance within us as human beings. But And there's a but. That but is there. And what that but is, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to do it. We don't want to, yeah, we don't want to do the work. And if you are really, truly growing, not doing the work in good standing, you should be a couple of steps ahead of that 8 ball, I think, right? When it comes to love. And what I mean by that is that you look at the condition rather than taking it personal first, before you take it personal. That's what I think. As a whole, I still believe in love. I still believe in mankind as a unique, blessed experience to be able to be in this body. Absolutely. That's why I mean, for the love of self, I should quit smoking. I actually did go to the specialist today. Yeah. So I thought, get on some superfoods is what I thought, because I know the better. We really are what we eat. And things like smoking, it's more of an emotional addiction, or looking to seethe what would hurt, that I, through my perception, yes, and we're all entitled to have their own perception of life, and what humanity means to each individual, and how they view humanity. Each individual has their own perception. So all in all, you have to interact with each other in order for there to be communication, because of these blocks. They have energy. Thoughts have energy. They have energy. Yes, they do. When you get right down into science, it blows your mind, because when you understand the impact of the vibration, the intention of a word, yeah, that's when you're really, really moving mountains, and when you get there, I believe that you're in an element of love, because you are completely one with the universe, meaning you've got one foot on the earth and your other foot is in heaven. While you're here, because it's physical, you understand that history is not going to be the key. I mean, it's a key in the sense that you understand history, so you know what's going on today, right? Our primary function is to forgive. We're really compliant when it comes to forgiving, and I think that that is a good thing. But we also have to remember that we need to stay in our power, and there are times where we cannot comply for the sake of just not yourself winning an argument, or you proving a point, or making it that, excuse me, I am here, I have a voice. Whether you speak it or you don't, your point is across. So, when there is compromise in any relationship, in any agreement, things work much better. But the honesty that man has an issue with honesty. And I believe it's because they no longer can, in any way, shape, or form, uh, feel good about themselves. So, in turn, they hurt other people. I don't understand the psychology behind that. You know, I really don't. I really don't. Like, I just, to myself, I'm thinking, why would you cut your nose off to spite your face? Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense to me. You know, what makes sense is feeling confident enough that you are completely yourself and completely forward and honest, and utilize the energy of life, because it's a wondrous gift that was bestowed upon you and upon me and upon everybody else. You know, but it's our perception of it, and then what we do with that perception, that we ask ourselves, where do we go from here? You know, what is love? Do you trust? And that's a funny word, trust. It's a really funny word. You know, if you're not prepared to earn the trust, don't expect that to come automatically from somebody else, because this is how you want it, but you don't want to give it. Everything has to be balanced. So, you know, when I look at everything that is happening worldwide and where we are, is really freaking me out. I'll tell you that, because I'm going, oh, I want to be so forward, but I know, I worry that I just don't need anybody else to come find me for any reason. I want my message to get through to humanity. Yeah, my mother taught me the some of the finest things, and she's right. Yeah, I had one of the best mothers in the whole world. Just love her bits and pieces. She had a real Marilyn Monroe energy about her, you know, and she was shy about it, until you pushed that button, and then she turned into I Am Woman, Wonder Woman, you know. Yeah. And as a daughter, I used to think I want to be as strong as her. You know, I loved her independence and her forwardness. She was brilliant. She really was. She had a brilliant mind. A woman way ahead of her time. And I could see how, you know, she would possibly get into trouble. But that was just from things like wearing pants. And you know, this was a new movement, and the girls would get in trouble for doing so. They saw it as rebellion, and women saw it as, oh, wonderful, now we can keep our legs warm too. Right? That was before how does it look? You know, how is it on me? Could I pull it off? Right? Right, ladies? I know. Oh, man, I thought I had a coffee. I guess I don't. Well, a bummer. Okay, so, ask yourself, can you be completely honest with yourself? If you really want to find happiness, I think that is the very first question. And that is, how honest can you be with yourself? Because in order to have a new beginning, You have to be ready. You have to want it. And the only way of wanting or quenching that desire is by defining what it is that you want, and allow yourself that privilege, allow yourself that honesty. You know, at first it might be a little bit awkward, and you don't have to be cruel to be honest. You know, there's no book that says that. Actually, it's love thy neighbor as you know you would want them to be a liking. But people are selfish. People betray one another. People sell each other. It's very sad as a species. Kind of reminds me of Ronald Reagan's speech as to how would humanity react if all of a suddenly other life would appear, and at that point would humanity matter? Would that be the beginning of humanity mattering to the human beings on this planet? That's a question, and you got to ask yourself that truthfully. Yeah. You know, one thing I learned from a guide, and I said, how did you know, yeah, how is it that you let what happened happen? And I'm not going to elaborate on that right now. And the angel had said to me, what? I said, how could you have let that happen to me? I was just like a child. You know, how could you have let that happen? You're supposed to be, like, are you my guardian angel? And even if you weren't, right? I remember that getting a little bit uncomfortable. And what I learned, now this is going to blow you guys away, but, and I did say it in another video, I was told that I decided that this is what I was going to do. I did. And I said, when did I decide that? And that was prior to my incarnation. Yes. Prior to my incarnation, I agreed. Yes. And why? Because it's helping sustain life. That's what it's doing. Whatever they needed from me is helping them sustain life. Now, I don't know too much about this other stuff and everything else like this, and you know, some stuff is pretty freaky, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was shown and told about the Dragos, you know, and because of my sheer immaturity and ignorance, I put myself in the situation where I have now experienced them, and where I'm at here, I'm good. I don't need to do that. I learned whatever I needed to learn, and from there, that was it. I just went, okay, I know it's real, I'm moving forward, and I don't even have to discuss it if I'm uncomfortable with it. And I don't normally discuss it, but for whatever reason, I guess it's because, like I had said or mentioned, that we have to be honest with ourselves. And the honesty that I'm projecting for myself is to like myself and not allow other people to make who they think I should be, try to shape me into a desired, but that can't happen. if it's the betterment of the other person, then I believe that the universe begins to manifest that, because it's goodwill, and it's a light that is attaching to another light, and it just becomes brighter and brighter and brighter, right? I believe that. I mean, look at the problems that we've got. Don't you think they all need a bright light shone on obstacles that slow humanity down to a dull roar where we have to be careful that, man is becoming docile. Yeah, and this technology stuff, I'm just going to make a whole other video. I think that's just going to be a straight out from the heart. That this is really scary times. I'm not kidding. I never thought I would be alive during these times. And I'm understanding now why I know I'm alive during these times. And in the bigger picture of things, I believe I'm only the wiser making the decision to make these videos. That's because I'm ready to tell the truth about all of it. All of it. When Jesus incarnated, he banked on our essence of life, that we would instinctively know, we would instinctively be moved and have that understanding. And I believe that what that understanding is release. And that is releasing where you are in the here and in the now. Because all of a sudden, your soul sees another light and it connects. That's how healing happens. They connect to one another. They become brighter. If you put two lights together and you just keep adding more and more and more and more and more, well, hey, I mean, it's really simple, the concept, right? Yeah. So it's all about being honest with oneself, with yourself, and feeling confident about your honesty. And like I said, you don't have to be cruel or be mean or, emotionally blackmail or... no, you truly just have to be convicted that you want a happier life, a more productive life. And with all that is going on around you, and it makes no sense because mainstream media has gone crazy. Did you ever think that you were going to sit, listen to the news, and it would be about all this other world stuff? Because I'm pretty sure people call it stuff. And how is in the body of government and in the body of big industries. Once upon a time, you'd never think be that blatant. You never imagined it would be so present. Is it right? Yeah. I know this. So the fact that it is, we have to make some decisions that the right decision being made, there is an element of ascension. in one's soul, all of us. If we are vibrating with the consciousness of us being on this earth, we remember this. Even if we don't, we give it the opportunity that it just might be. It just might be so. What I'm telling you, it just might be so. It just might be. And hey, I'm telling you, I've experienced some of the freakiest things. Like one time I was living up in the mountains, and my two eldest just wouldn't stop bickering with one another. It was just terrible. And I just brought everybody up there because I thought everybody needs to chill, everybody needs to ground, everybody needs to start being responsible and accountable for their actions, and there was a need for communication because things got pretty heavy duty. And so I made that call. I still think it was the best call that I could have made, because I made it difficult for them to, go interact and be social, because it was just that far away. And you sometimes have to do that. You have to get back to nature. You have to get back to what is real in this world. There's beautiful eagles, and we had bears, and there was cats. Yes. Fish. Just such a beautiful deer. We had such just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it did settle them down enough where they realized that there was, they created their own consequences. I didn't go have to and say, hey, yada, 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 yada. I just said, I have to pull rank. I am your creator. So it's going to be this way. That's how it is. And nobody had that choice, because I knew I was the adult in this. I'm the parent, I'm the mother, and I knew what was best for all of us. And anyway, they just wouldn't stop arguing, and so I just broke down, stepped outside, sat on the porch on the stairs, and I just had a really good cry, because they just would not stop arguing, and I couldn't think. I couldn't hear myself think. And it didn't matter. I begged and pleaded, and I just got so frustrated. And the only thing I could do, like I said, I just sat on the stairs and I just cried and thought, why am I always carrying this by myself? This responsibility. And as I was thinking this, and I had a fleeting moment where I thought, maybe it's astrological. And I kind of started, to regroup when I started to think on the scientific aspect of why, and that was pertaining to my question, why, and could it be, I'm pretty sure it would be, in my chart somewhere. It would be relevant, it'd be present. Yes. Huh. Sorry about that. That was me channeling off, getting a message. Yeah, my bad. Okay, on that note, I'm being tugged, and I'm gonna succumb to the tugging. I'm gonna wrap this up. But, yeah, ask yourself that. You know, how honest could you be with yourself? Nobody has to know about this. Nobody has to know about this question. Yeah, just ask yourself in that situation, are you being, the way that you're living your life right now, are you being as honest as you could possibly be? And is it making you happy the way that you once believed you could be and would be? Right? So we'll just have to bring it down back to that. And let's give life another chance to be passionate and loving and forgiving and being all about doing what's right. And don't forget Mom. M-O-M spells mom. Okay, I'm digging. This is the vibe. Like, or the vibe. Like, share, and what's the other one? Yeah, you can subscribe, right? Yes, you can. You can. Okay, ciao.